Hello, Frugal Force. Once again, Captain Frugal here reporting for duty. And today for Road Rage. Well, first let me start with saying it's another rainy day. And it's just wonderful. And it was raining the last few days. Oh, the fun it is. And when it's like that, coffee has to be increased. Because, good old Captain Frugal's got some arthritis at this point in life. He's got a knee, his shoulder, his hands. They all, sometimes when my wrist gets bad too. So it's spots with injuries usually tend to tell me how much it dislikes having the rain. So last night I probably got about 2.5, 3 hours sleep if I'm lucky. Because the good old Arthur saying hello. Oh, anyway, moving on. Enough whining like a little whiny person there. So anyway, the thought on this video I've been thinking about is I watched Diversity in Comics video yesterday, and I also read the article before that. I was gonna do something on it, but I wanted to think about it first, and that's Marvel and their new direction and changes again. You know what? And I put this in tweets and things. I don't 100% really agree with Diversity in Comics on this one. He's like, hey, we're winning, yay! You know what? I think we're having an impact. Don't get me wrong, I sure am. And I agree with them there, and I think we're making a positive impact and moving forward. But with that said and done, I don't really still trust Marvel. Marvel's done this to us before. We're going to make a change in October. It's going back to its roots. Remember that? Yeah, how did that work out? Okay, so I hope CB is making those changes. You know, some people, there is some reason to have some hope. And this is going to sound like the negative before the positive here. Disney has had some losses. All right, they have some stuff that's holding down the profit train, like ESPN, stuff like that. And certainly Marvel has been a part of that. With the comics division, didn't help either with the print because the sales have went down so astronomically. Once again, you don't change people at the top unless there's a problem or a new big bold direction that the board of directors wants to go into and the CEO is not part of that vision. Usually that means money is not being made not being made at the rate that is expected for the fiduciary duties of that position. So with that said, changes were made with CB. And granted, I have some hope that CB is making those changes. But once again, be leery of that. I don't expect this to be all grand. And if you don't believe me, look at the pictures that have been used so far, shown by Marvel to help facilitate this change. And you go, well, wait a minute, it has a lot of classic characters, sure, but this change looks to me a lot like Thor at the very forefront of these pictures. Yeah, you might be getting Thor back, but is he the same Thor? Well, look, he's still got the arm, messed up. They haven't restored that. Which, I mean, that's minor, but look at he doesn't have Mjolnir, or if he does, it's a different version of Mjolnir, or Mjolnir has changed. His hammer is definitely different. So it speculates, my thought is they might be trying to give us a little, here's your nuggets. Enjoy, this should be enough to hold on to you. But not really restore things. Maybe they're keeping Jane Foster as female Thor. Okay, and I don't have a problem with that. There is multiple Thors. I was fine with Thunderstrike, though I think she should have her name changed and actually have a decent book, rather than a feminist bullcrap propaganda, where I'm gonna not fight you because, girl power, even though you just kicked my boyfriend's butt. Yeah, that was stupid, amongst many other things. I'm glad they're not getting rid of Miles necessarily and things like that. I'm not, anti for that. Though Miles does need some work. He lost his luster when they pulled him out of the Ultimate Universe because they lost what made him special, I think. And he hasn't had the impact since. Another thing that makes me wonder is you look at the two ways She-Hulk is drawn. One, she's drawn more back to the traditional, like She-Hulk, like people want it. And then on the other picture, she looks like a steroid-induced freak show. Now, granted, I know she's supposed to be super strong and stuff, but I think most people, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the classic version of She-Hulk, where she looked like a woman, but yet she was powerful and awesome, rather than big bulking biceps and everything else. I mean, they were just astronomically huge. So there's part of the problem. You notice that just in the advertisement that we got telling us that this change is coming, it contradicts itself. So what version are we getting of these things? We see Doctor Strange in there. That's good. We're going to see more of him. There looks like they're going to be keeping Miss Marvel. You know what? This seems like there's some people like her. Some more power to them. As I said, I'm not there for throwing out characters. I'm for good stories. As long as they have a good story, that's what I care about. And of course, also not being offensive and everything else to, people. When I say that, like, every white man has to be bad in comics, it seems like right now. So there might be some positive change, and for that, I think we did it. And when I say we, I mean all of us, by standing our grounds, voting with our dollars, telling them what we wanted, holding their feet to the fire. Problem is this going to be just a temporary little thing? Just enough so they can say, we gave you what you wanted, or enough to make people back off, so then they cool the heat on the company and then revert back to their same bullcrap practices. To me, Marvel has not given us much to believe in. Marvel, as I said earlier, promised big changes. They promised, we're going back to the roots. We're going back, and it hasn't happened. So they've lost the trust of the customer base. At least they've lost mine from a lot of people I've talked to as well. They said they're never going back to Marvel. Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope Marvel fixes and rights the ship and people come back. But I can understand if they don't. You can only lie to people and then ridicule them for so long. And then they won't come back anymore. They've lost complete faith in you. They'll find a competitor like DC, which they've been doing. And granted, I'm not saying DC's perfect. I am not saying that in any way whatsoever. But when you have one that looks like an old moldy piece of cheese and the other one looks like a good sandwich, you're going to go to the good sandwich. Oh, shoot. What are your thoughts on this? Do you trust Marvel? Do you think this change will be coming back to its roots? Let me know that in the comments. Whereas me, or do you think more like me, you're very skeptical? You think they're going to give us some, but you don't really trust them enough to give us what they fully promise. Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell. Also, tell others about this video. Help spread the word of the channel. I'd appreciate it. Little Frugal would appreciate it. Also, Little Frugal and I did work on a video this weekend, and I was very late on getting to edit it because I've been spending time messing around with them, playing with them. We've been playing a lot of Garden Warfare, stuff like that. Anyway, I put it in the, I had it in the computer, and it was in the process of rendering it, making the video, and then good old Microsoft did a forced update, which forced my computer to shut down and reboot, of course, at the end of it rendering. So after an hour and a half waiting of rendering, it didn't. So now I wasn't able to get that rendered last night, and on top of that, it didn't, then it messed up where it didn't want to save my changes. It screwed that up, so I have to re-edit the video and render it again. Thank you, Microsoft, for forced updates. You pissed me off. There's a little road rage for you. Because I tell you, that did aggravate me. Alright, so that's why that video is late. I'm going to try to get it to you hopefully tonight or tomorrow, depending on what life gives me. Alright, so if you do want to help support Little Frugal, myself, American Dream, and this channel, go ahead and look to the link below where you'll see a Patreon where you can help us for as little as $1 a month. And alright guys, and thank you again, and until next time, keep it frugal.